Good evening everyone and welcome to today's workshop. I am Sally, your facilitator for tonight. Today we will discuss about developing a selection process for hiring the right talent. This is the outline for today. So, what is selection? Selection is a process of measurement, decision-making and evaluation in which organizations must use reliable and valid measures of a job applicant's talent profile. Selection is an integral part of strategic human resource management because it results in contribution by the existing talent pool to the overall objectives of the organization. Few important points must be kept in mind to ensure strategic selection. First, selection begins where recruitment ends. Second, selection should have strategic focus as well as be aligned with the overall objectives and plans of the organization. Third, success and quality of selection is significantly affected by the recruitment strategies employed. To select the most appropriate candidate, 3 essential questions must be answered. First, what is candidate's can-do ability? Second, what is candidate's will-do ability? Third, how well will the candidate's talent profile fit in the organization? As we are aware, these are the selection methods we have learned in the previous workshops: interviews, reference checks, assessment centers, medical checks, personality inventories, work sample tests and cognitive ability. Before developing a selection process, it is important to look at some generic standards that should be met in any selection process. They are reliability, validity, legality, generalizability, and utility. Let's understand them one by one. First, reliability is defined as the degree to which selection procedures produce comparable data over a period of time. It is the degree to which performance measurement is free from random error. Reliability refers to the measuring instrument, rather than to the characteristic itself. Let's take one example. If an applicant's height is measured thrice using a ruler, chances are that the results would be slightly different each time. This means that each time the person is assessed, we may be making slight errors. Now, if someone guesses the height, then we might see far more unreliability in the measure. Second, validity. Validity is defined as the extent to which a performance measure assesses all the relevant and only the relevant aspects of job performance. A measure must be reliable if it has to have any validity. There are 5 types of validity. Let's look at them one by one. Types of validity. Construct validity. It is the degree to which a selection method actually reflects the theoretical construct it is designed to assess. Concurrent validity. It involves assessing a sample of existing employees on the criterion predictor to check usability. Content validity. It is the extent to which a selection method adequately tests the knowledge, skills and abilities required to do the job. Predictive validity. Involves assessing all applicants on the criterion predictor to establish correlation to check usability for future selection process. Criterion-related validity. It is the extent to which the result from the selection method adequately predicts or correlates with job performance criteria. Third, legality. All selection methods should be assessed against current employment legislations, particularly with respect to employment opportunities legislation. It should be noted that among human resource management activities, selection has been most exposed to discrimination charges and lawsuits. Fourth, generalizability. It is the degree to which the validity of a selection method, established in one context, extends to other contexts. 3 primary contexts over which we might like to generalize are: first, different situations; second, different samples of people; and third, different time periods. For example, 2 different contexts are a large hospital and a small hospital. Both have a selection method of test of emotional stability in nurses. The test can be extended to both contexts, making this test generalizable. Fifth, utility. It is defined as the degree to which the information provided by selection methods enhances the effectiveness of selecting personnel in organizations. In general, the more reliable, valid and generalizable the selection method is, the more utility it will have. For example, a test of sales ability might have greater utility for a company selling cars than for one selling surfboards. The sales difference between a good car salesperson and an average one might be $100,000 a month, versus a difference of perhaps $2,000 a month for a good versus an average surfboard seller. These selection standards must be applied to selection methods that are used to identify prospective employees in an organization. Now let's see how the popular selection methods fare against the selection standards. Reliability. It is low in interviews when they are unstructured and they involve assessment of non-observable traits. Validity. Interviews have low validity if they are unstructured and non-behavioral. Generalizability. It is low in interviews. Utility. Interviews have low utility especially because of expense. Legality. It is low because of subjectivity and potential interviewer bias, also lack of validity makes job relatedness low. Let's look at one more example of reference checks. Reliability is low in reference checks especially when obtained from letters. Validity is low in reference checks because of lack of range in evaluations. Generalizability is low in reference checks. Reference checks have low utility, although they are not very expensive to obtain. Legal issues may remain as those writing letters may be concerned with charges of libel. A new screening method popular with employers is the use of social media. Since it is new, it has similarities to other type of selection methods. For example, using personal information when hiring. Many established selection methods like background checks and interviews are used to access personal details. Let's look at some interesting statistics about the use of social media as a screening method. Now let's understand social media against the selection standards. Reliability. As there is no standardization of rating systems and inconsistency in information, social media reliability is low. Validity. Social media has low to medium validity. Apart from personality, knowledge, skills and abilities like qualifications cannot be measured. Generalizability is low in social media. Different social platforms have different usage. Facebook can be used to know about personality and negative traits, and LinkedIn is used to know about knowledge, skills and abilities. Utility. Social media has high utility as it is quick, cheap and requires little time and effort. Legality. In social media context the issue is of fairness. There is greater possibility of discrimination, for example information on age and religion is not included in resumes, is easily available on Facebook. Now that we have learned about the selection methods and standards, what do you think are the implications of a bad selection process? Yes, you are right. Bad selection processes result in wrong selection decisions that can have long-lasting effects on the organization. Let's look at some of the implications. Effect on good employees. Employees tend to lose morale, productivity and confidence in the top management. Increased workload on other staff members. Damage to reputation. Incompetent employees lead to bad customer service and increased complaints. Employees leaving may also badmouth the organization. Increased cost of hiring and training new candidates. Effect on strategic objectives. Incompetent employees hardly make any contribution to attaining overall objectives of the organization. Now, let's look at the impact of good selection process on designing and staffing in organizations. Right number of employees are hired. Employee is equipped with right skill set. Time is saved. Minimized cost involved. Right organizational culture is formed and maintained. I hope this video has been helpful. Thank you for watching.